If you want to find the square root of a number without actually finding the square root of that number, check this out. If you want to take the square root of any number in the world, let's call it a for now, it will always pretty much equal to this, where b is the closest perfectly squared number, like 4, 9, 25, 100, and so on. These are called perfectly squared because, well, they are special, and they're what happens when you multiply a number by itself, like 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 5 times 5, 10 times 10, and so on. So let's give it a try and find the square root of 11. So first let's copy down 11, and now what is the closest perfectly squared number? 9, which is 3 times 3, is pretty close, but so is 16, which is 4 times 4. So which one is 11 closer to? Well, it's a little bit closer to 9, so let's write down 11 plus 9. And now let's divide all of this by 2 times the square root of 9, which is just 3. So 11 plus 9 divided by 2 times 3 is equal to 3.3. And that is the square root of 11 without actually finding the square root of 11.
Whenever you get a question on the SAT or any other test asking for the product of the roots or the solutions of a quadratic equation, all you have to do is use this formula, c over a, and c is going to be your last number with no x, and a is going to be the coefficient of the x squared. So we do c over a, negative 7 over 3, and that's going to be your answer.
How to calculate quick percentages. Let's go. So, what is 7% of 300? Well, in order to do this, we have to know what percent means, so let's break this word up. So, per and cent. So, what does per mean? Per means for each. And cent is a Latin root word that actually means 100. So, in the word percent, it literally means for each 100. And now, how many hundreds do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 100s, where this is 100, this is 100, and this is 100. That makes up 300. And now how many are there in each 100? 7. So I have 7 in here, 7 in here, 7 in here, and all I have to do is just add that up, and that equals 7 plus 7 plus 7, which is 21. So 7% of 300 is 21.
Here's your math minute number 6. Slope can be positive, negative, 0, or undefined. If you can remember this trick, you can classify any slope. Look at the n in negative. That's a negative slope. Positive would go in the opposite direction. Slope is 0, doesn't go up or down. The only one we have left is undefined.
Did you know that percents are reversible? For example, we have a question that's asking us what is 23% of 50. Well, we can instead rewrite it as 50% of 23, which is a lot easier to find. That's just half of 23, so we can take half of 23. That's 11.5, and we can choose A. Here's how you can divide any number by 5 in just seconds. Right here, it's asking us what is 1,134 divided by 5. So what you want to do is multiply the number by 2. So we multiply by 2, we get 2,268. Then all you have to do is put a decimal one place over, and our answer is 226.8. So we can choose A.
Plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus ... plus 100 is equal to what? Okay, there's actually a very easy way to solve this. If we look at the first number 1 and the last number 100 and we add those up, we get 101. If we look at the second number 2 and the second to last number 99 and we add those up, we also get 101. Notice a pattern? Great. Now, if we do 100 divided by 2, we get 50, which is the number of pairs there are. So now all we do is 50 times 101 and we get 5,050.
Here's how you can square numbers fast. This method works for any number from 0 to 100, and all it takes are just 3 steps. So say we have a number like this, 74 squared. Well, our first step is to square each digit, so we square 7, we get 49, and we square 4, we get 16. Then you multiply each digit, so 7 times 4, that's 28, double that, so we get 56, and then put that right under what you squared, so 56, and then add a 0 to the end of that. Then you add the two numbers formed, so we have 4,916 and 560. Add them, we get 5,476, and that's going to be your answer.
20% of 20% of 20. Okay, so 20% we could rewrite as 2 over 10, and of just means times. So all together we have 2 over 10 times 2 over 10 times 20 over 1. Now, when we have multiplication, we just multiply across, and when we do that, we get 80 over 100. Now, we could cancel out one of the zeros, and we're left with 8 over 10, which is just 0.8.
99 times 18.
1782. The trick to multiply by 99 is to multiply the other number by 100 first, then subtracting it from itself, leaving you with 1782. Follow for more math hacks.
Whenever you get a question on the SAT or any other test asking for the sum of the solutions of a quadratic equation, all you have to do is put negative b over a, and b is going to be what's the coefficient of the x, and a is going to be the coefficient of the x squared. So in this case, we do negative 20, because this is 20, over 2, because this is 2. That's going to equal to negative 10, so we can choose A.
How to find half of odd numbers. Let's go. What's half of 37? Well, 37 is an odd number, so they're harder to work with. So I like to break down 37 into numbers that I do like. Well, I know that 30 plus 7 is 37, and take half of those numbers. Half of 30 is 15, half of 7 is 3.5, and you add those up, then you get 15 plus 3.5, which is 18.5. So I know that half of 37 is 18.5. But let's say you don't like this combination. Well, you can try a different one. 37 can be broken down into either 36 and 1. Take half of those numbers. Half of 36 is 18, half of 1 is 1/2, and you add them up, then you get 18.5 again. So you can try any combination that you do like, but at the end of the day, you'll get half of 37 is 18.5.